It's been almost a year since we've heard that Devil May Cry Peak of Combat was launching for mobile. Well, the official pre-registration has finally launched and I'm here to tell you how the game is. Now, Devil May Cry is a series whose fans were always skeptical about playing the game on mobile. To sum it up, it completely blew my mind. So, let's talk about everything you need to know about DMC Peak of Combat. First, let's talk about the download process of Peak of Combat. I had to spend a lot of time finding the right links, and since the game wasn't quite launched and is still up for registration, it was a drag to download the game. On the first attempt, the game simply did not work. And as I started tinkering with different links, I finally found the one working link that I will share with you. You can check the link to our blog on how to download Devil May Cry Peak of Combat on Android down in the description. But before you start the game, it's a lengthy process and the game itself is nearly 6 to 7 gigabytes. Even though I was surprised to see how big of a game Peak of Combat was, the extensive content we get surprised me the most. So let's talk about the storyline and gameplay. Even though Peak of Combat is released in China with a Chinese name, the English translation is Peak of Combat, Pinnacle of Combat or War of the Peak. So a lot of titles to pick from. It is a spin-off game developed by a Chinese company called Nebula Joy, and damn, we love it. The storyline starts with Lady sitting in a bar full of people. Dante joins her, teasing each other until some demons attack. Full of playfulness, Dante takes care of the demons but is surprised to see so many of them. Now he must find who's out there to assassinate him this time and reclaim his glory. The storyline of Peak of Combat is quite simple and maybe even cliché at this point. However, the gameplay is where things get even more interesting. Gameplay-wise, I was stunned to see how similar it looks to the PC and console version of the game. While there's limited screen space, the development company behind the game did a great job of simplifying the controls while still providing all the necessary combat options. Dante can do a light or a heavy attack and even mix them with his iconic shooting abilities. The thing that makes this game's controls so fun are the combos. You can use combos and dodge the opponents, and there's just too much to enjoy. In Peak of Combat, each character can own up to 4 weapons. However, there is no automatic mode available, which means that the gameplay will get tough sometimes. Moreover, aim assist surely comes in handy when you're trying to prioritize which opponent to kill first. I was quite disappointed that Dante has only 2 styles in Peak of Combat, including Trickster and Royal Guard. And lastly, Virgil is missing his iconic Devil Trigger form, which made him so badass. Talking about the difficulties, there are 2 modes, easy and hard. It seems quite straightforward. While being a mobile game, the studio decided to provide us with a cool looking game without making anything hard. However, taking the hard mode increases the enemy's awareness, their combat abilities, and damage they do to you. I started with the easy mode because I'm no Dr. Disrespect or Penguin Z0, but overall the gameplay has been perfect so far. Well, now let's talk about graphics of Peak of Combat. Graphics are where things get even more interesting. The game looks darn good for a mobile title, which threw me off once again. There is just too much to love about Peak of Combat, starting from its graphics. We all know that Capcom has one of the best developers and generally optimizes games for both PC and mobile. Interestingly enough, Nebula Joy did an amazing job optimizing the titles for the phone, and I could play it at 120Hz without any lag. All in all, the graphics of Peak of Combat are 10x10 for mobile and looks quite similar to other high-tier RPG phone titles like Genshin Impact and more. And that's about it for this video. If you want to play it on your phone now, you can just simply visit the blog in our description where we've guided you step by step on how to install Peak of Combat on Android. Devil May Cry Peak of Combat is an excellent game, and if you're a series fan or looking for a similar PC experience, it is a must try. And before ending the video, I would like you guys to like the video, subscribe and ring that bell icon so you won't miss our future videos. Until next time, peace.